Europe is turning cold this week. At North America and Japan, I've got 50 liters of olive waste oil. Normally a problem to get rid of. But what if I told you that one drop every 2 seconds can give you 1 full kilowatt of heat in addition to your woody flames? That's 1 liter in 10 hours. No gas, no diesel, just the leftover oil of your kitchen or from the fish and chips shop down the street. Hello everyone, I'm Norbert, energy engineer for you, homeowner. This week it's getting much colder across the whole of Europe. Then if I see this kind of articles, also in a major Dutch newspaper, I really see that energy poverty is going up. Here you see in black and white how this trend is often defined, choosing between eating and heating. But what about waste oil from frying? Eating, that's out of the question. But heating is an option. We've got 50 liters of waste olive oil ready to burn for the coming winter. That's about 500 kilowatt-hours of heat, if burned well. In this video, I'll show you how I'll drip this oil into my hybrid pellet wood stove. Why? Because if the grid falters or prices spike, you'll want a full bag. Just imagine 1 kilowatt of heat for 10 hours from only 1 liter of oil. You also want to avoid the hassle of recycling waste oil. Check anyway your municipality. In some countries, used cooking oil must be collected separately. But in many countries, households are in a grey legal area. So if you will use it wisely, nobody will bother. Just make clear that you are using it for clean heating. That means replacing in many cases fossil fuels. Well, that's a good argument for the community. And yes, you will see also the experiments in a couple of minutes, so just stick around. In both developed and developing countries there are tons of waste bio-oil. In developed countries you have got French fries, deep frying, restaurants with rich streams of used oil. In developing countries you have got native oils, yam, palm, sunflower, being used in huge volumes. Where does all this waste oil go to? Is it all professionally recycled? Often not. So here's the idea. When it is cold outside, you can burn it in a stove like I'm doing today. When it is warmer, like in most developing countries, you can use it in a burner to cook food or to heat water. I'll cover that in future videos. Today we focus on the stove for the coming winter, just 1 month away.
Norbert, are you kidding me? 1 drop every 2 seconds gives 1 kilowatt of heat?
Seems incredible, right? Well, let's see the calculation. 1 liter of waste olive oil contains around 10 kilowatt-hour of usable heat. That's like 1 cubic meter of natural gas. In the EU, average natural gas price for households is about 11 euro cents per kilowatt-hour. Now, 1 liter is made of 1000 cubic centimeters of 20 drips each. If you divide those 10 kilowatt-hours by 20,000, you get a half a watt-hour per drip. That is the energy for a powerful LED that works 1 hour. If you let fall 1 drip every 2 seconds, you get 1800 times half a watt-hour or 900 watt-hours heat in 1 hour. That's equal to 900 watt, nearly 1 kilowatt as I said. So if you burn that waste oil well, you get roughly 10 kilowatt-hours. That equates to €1.14 worth of gas at the average retail rate. But that's a rough ballpark. For 10 hours you have burned 1 liter. That's pretty powerful if you ask me. Another powerful idea is that of the last week. It is complementary to this video because it's about fossil fuel. But still, because I found a way to get 3 times as much energy from 1 liter of gasoline as you normally get with the gasoline generator, I find this machine very interesting. It is often applied in off-grid and blackout situations, and you can use it to have not only power but also free heating. I can say free if you consider the application as a simple electricity generator as the baseline. How I managed to make a fully integrated system that gives power and heat at high efficiency, also in complete independence, is described in my new audiobook, The Symphony of Energy. The first chapter is free and you can download it in the description. This audiobook is an ideal way to learn independency during your commute to work. Now let's return to our oil dripper. Here's my hybrid pellets wood stove. I built it this way because I wanted flexibility. Wood, pellets, now also waste oil. I've added the drip system, a small bottle of waste oil, precise valve for drip rate control, and a metal tube directing each drop into the fire pot with pellet bed. Air supply from under the fire remains the same, so combustion stays clean. I've even added some steel wool where the drop falls. I hope it always glows for quick absorption, evaporation and a clean burn. That's something that I will see and let you know. Look how the flame immediately responds to the falling drop. It has several minutes the time to warm up in the pipe above the flames. If I forget to refill wood logs, a few pellets and the oil maintain a continuous flame. Waste oil becomes my extra fuel for resilience and also no-nonsense recycling. This video shows my personal DIY experiment using waste cooking oil in a hybrid stove. Always follow your local safety and emission regulations before attempting similar setups. You are fully responsible for the safe handling, storage and burning of any fuels in your home. After this disclaimer, I give you a few tips that make safety easier to achieve. Make sure the drip lands onto the hot fuel zone. Don't drip into cold ash. Ensure your stove has enough airflow under the fire pot so the flame stays clean. Where the steel pipe touches the plastic fuel hose, it must be less than 70 degrees Celsius. Better is to let the steel pipe continue outside the warm zone. Use waste oil only when it's okay for the pot. If you suspect contamination or heavy residues, test it first. Check your chimney and stove certification. You're still dealing with flame and combustion. If you do it right, you'll burn clean, quiet and dependable. So what do you get? If you have 50 liters of waste oil, that's potentially 500 kilowatt-hours if all burned cleanly, which is like 500 hours at 1 kilowatt, or more if you adjust the drip rate. That gives you a real backup for heating or at least extends the fire season. And because you reused waste oil, you reduce cost and dependency. And you are replacing a fossil fuel, possibly. It is still an uncertain period of the winter, especially in Europe when the grids might strain. It's smart to have alternative heat ready. This is exactly what the DIY community needs. In the next weeks, I will show you how you can adapt this dripper for developing countries, where cooking fuel is often expensive relative to income and waste bio oil is abundant. In video 112, I already covered that topic. In the next videos I will take this further. And for now, let's see what I do. I'm going to fire up the stove, drip the oil, and you will see how it runs. Stay tuned for the experiments in the following videos after this one. Don't forget to like, to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you want to have more resilience DIY ideas for energy at your home. So let's now get to the experiment. See what I achieved in less than 1 day of experimenting. The waste oil dripper is now doing the job. No more hassle to bring it away, so the life cycle of the waste oil becomes shorter. I wish you good energy.